It is week 12 of PFR on Lakeshore Public Television. Tonight, we get you ready for sectional championship football tomorrow night in some regions, of course, of the state. Others playing regional football tomorrow night, including Maryville. And we'll break down those games and have a final edition of PFR for this season.
Hey, the strong survive, don't they? And this is a great way to kind of tail down that season.
All right. We'll have all that, much more, as we get ready to wrap it up tonight on PFR. We're back at PFR, ready for our final Spirit Award winner of the season. Our Team Spirit Award winner from last week. Let's take a look. Of course, Lakeshore Prep Sports on Facebook. That's where you go for the PFR website. And that's where you go to vote and also see our program. And Lowell with a decisive win for our final week of the season.
Yep, and Lowell's football team decisively won the sectional, so that was good.
I thought Penn was a candidate for this.
They were. You obviously did not go to our website. You obviously did not go there and vote.
No, I did not.
For Penn, despite the fact that you wanted to.
I didn't do it Lake County election style as many
No, you
times
did
as I
not.
possibly could.
For those of you that may have missed it, Andy is a Penn alum.
Yeah.
And somehow he still is on the program. How about some players?
I'm all
of the
region
week?
now.
Yeah, there you go. Good. How about some players of the week for the final week of the high school football season? Let's start with some offense. There you go. Ike James and Devontae Jones, Wayne.
Devontae Jones of East Chicago, 152 yards, 3 TDs. Carlos Madden doing an outstanding job
very
for
good
Whiting.
year.
Oh, a very good year. And then Isaiah Thornton stepping up.
Yeah, Isaiah Thornton's had a nice second half of the season. Maryville's been running the ball more. May need to run the ball more with the weather, being a little shaky tomorrow
That's
night.
right.
So we'll see. And I think we had the Ike James Offensive Player of the Week award.
do.
No. He's won it
Let's
too
go.
many times.
Yes.
He's won it too
Too
many
many times. That's
Hey,
right.
tell you what,
He's
talk
been
about the weather.
disqualified.
Weather could affect Devontae Jones tomorrow night against Lowell, but he throws a pretty good ball.
Yeah, with some wind, possibly could. How about some defensive players of the week? North Judson's D held Lake Station scoreless. That was their second consecutive shutout. They're going to be in tough tomorrow night against Pioneer.
Adam Zorich of Whiting, couple of interceptions against Roosevelt. And Whiting looks good and in a spot to win their first sectional championship since, I think, 97 or so.
A long time.
Yeah, hopefully they're not thinking about it too much.
No.
Just got to get out there, play the game. You don't want to see them come out a little shaky just because they're worried about not winning it in so long. Anthony Turner of Maryville with a couple picks against Portage.
Jordan Velez, East Chicago, had a huge interception in that game against Gavitt. That was a very tight game last week at Pete Rosinski Field, and he sealed it.
Special teams players of the week. We've got one. Sal Vargas, the senior, came through with a huge field goal, 31-yarder to win and send him to the sectional championship game at Mishawaka Marion. Just his second attempt of the season.
That's right. That's amazing. Second attempt of the season, wins the game. Unbelievable.
They made their field goal, and Griffith did not, and that was the difference in the game.
Special teams player of the week, Sal Vargas. Unknown players of the week. Brennan Wild.
That's
Never
right.
heard of him.
North Judson, he had 3 TDs versus Lake Station.
Yeah. PJ McGee.
Yeah.
Never heard of him either, actually.
That's right. That's right. And Knox going to play in Whiting this week, and this will be a good one.
Representing the Hoosier North.
That's right.
And, the Hoosier North, impressive in the postseason.
They've been very, very good. I'll give you a stat on that a little bit later. Them
All right.
specifically against the Greater South Shore.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it a stat that people around here are going to like?
Yeah.
Maybe not.
Well, it depends on where around here
Depends
is.
on where
yeah.
you live. Okay.
Yeah.
And since this is the last show, we've got our player and coach of the year.
Okay. I see where you're going with this now. Okay, player and coach of the year. Well, Keith Kilmer's gotten it done, without a doubt.
Oh, gosh, has he ever. You know, 41. He's 11-0 this season, but 41-23. He has done an outstanding job of bringing those kids around. Unbelievable.
Well, and you gotta hope that they just continue to play solid football. They kind of had up that fluky loss last year to New Prairie where they went for two and you know, I think fumbled the ball or didn't get the conversion. But hopefully Lowell could be on a collision course with Plymouth in the semi-state, and that'll be a tremendous football game with two great powers. But hopefully see Lowell be able to play good football here.
I think Lowell is built for this time of the year. They run the ball outstandingly with James. They have an excellent defense, and Hornicle can actually throw the ball.
Yeah, and they've really been in some tight spots in some of these regular season contests, and yet they've always come out of it on the right side.
That's true.
Darian Hornicle, 12 TD passes, 1 pick.
Right.
I mean, that's you know, and I followed him on Twitter this week, and he followed me back, so I hope that doesn't jinx him.
No.
Whoa,
Could be the PFR.
kiss of death right
check
there.
mark, did you?
Yikes.
You can blame it on me, Darian, if you throw another pick the rest of the season, buddy. I'm taking the heat for it. All right? All right, how about our Player of the Year? Oh, and there it is, the Ike James Player of the Year award.
Right. 1,500, over 1,500 yards, rushing 22 TDs. And there was a lot of good players out there, but none as good as Ike.
Boy, yeah, and anytime you're going to give an award like this to a running back, you also have to credit the 5 guys in front of him, too.
That's right.
And Lowell, always, year after year, with good offensive line play, and no mistake, they did it again this year.
No doubt, they've had a tremendous season in every facet of football, so congratulations to them. All right, we're going to take a timeout. When we come back, we'll break down our top games of the week. We'll have the final poll of the year and the only poll that matters. We'll see how poorly Wayne did this week. All that, much more, coming up next on PFR. Well, they are ready for the new year with the Prep Sports Report coming up in January, right here on Lakeshore Public Television. We start off with the only poll that matters. It is the final poll of the year. And let's go to the top 10. There were some late adjustments going on here, Wayne.
Yep, there was. But Andrea here finishes our last poll, 7-3, and number 10. Wheeler had a great season, 9-2. The Cardinals are rolling right now, you know.
Boy, I think Andrean got a raw deal there. They had a great game, tough loss to Washington. But they had some surprising losses during the year as well.
Yes, they did. Valpo had a nice season, an 8-2 record. Chesterton had an excellent
Chesterton
season.
had an excellent year.
Yes, they really have.
I mean, if you look at what their talent level looked like, their coaching staff did a great job. They really had a tremendous year coming back and playing against a very tough schedule, and they had an outstanding season.
And your surprise team
My
of the year.
surprise team of the year is hanging in here in Week 12. Now, they can shock the world tomorrow night, but we'll see how that goes.
That's true.
Number 1 team in the final poll has to be Lowell, the Red Devils, number 1 in the state in Class 4A, and that'll be the final poll of the year a couple weeks ago. So, obviously, Lowell has kind of dominated the landscape this year.
Yeah, but they are second in the 4A Sagarin ratings
They are.
behind Bishop Dwenger out of Fort Wayne. So we
Right.
will see.
But they are ahead of Plymouth.
That's
Now,
correct.
Plymouth has to go through Dwenger, right?
That's right.
In order to get through the semi-state. That's changed. In the past, the bracket would break down that Lowell would have to play Plymouth in the regional, so they may get a little bit of a break there depending on who they play. If they win tomorrow night and play next week, who they would match up against. How about the final Little 5 poll of the season? I think these teams all had outstanding years if you look
Yes.
at it. Boone Grove had some solid wins. Obviously, didn't compete against Whiting like they wanted to. South Newton with a nice win over South Central in the postseason.
Yeah, and they were a surprise, but you didn't know what they were going to be. They went 6-1 against teams from Illinois this year.
South Central had a good year, but they got knocked out of the Little 5 poll.
Yeah.
You got Winnemac and Knox.
And the one that you kind of, petitioned for, LaVille, I guess they get our signal.
No, they don't.
I don't think
No,
so.
they don't? Oh, now they don't.
This is the one that I petitioned against.
Yes, okay.
Right there on the border of St. Joseph and
No,
Marshall
they
County.
Okay.
They sure don't. Unless they watch online on Facebook, you'll have to do some research and see how many LaVille fans are pulling us in on our Facebook.
They're a good little team, though. That's for sure.
Yes. All right, time now to look at Wayne's picks for this week in Northwest Indiana high school football. All righty.
I do like, Penn. They are just outstanding, and I think Maryville will struggle, even though it's at Maryville. And Mishawaka, as Andy would know, has always been a very, very good football team.
That's a good South Bend Adams team, and you're not used to seeing that out of that program. They are a nice little season for them, but I think you're right.
A
Mishawaka
couple
a
of
little
South
bit better.
Bend schools already looking for new coaches.
That's right. That's
I
right.
think
Riley and Clay both
Right,
looking
both.
for new coaches.
I would love nothing more to see Maryville compete tomorrow
I
night.
would
I just
too.
don't
I
see that
agree. Yes.
happening because Penn is so good.
The Sagarin discrepancy here, Penn is the 6th in Class 6A, and Maryville 32nd overall. So
It's about a 25-point difference.
pretty good
somewhere in
size
there.
one.
Yeah.
But Penn's going to find theirs when they get down to the next level, because they're going to play maybe Carmel
Right.
if they win tomorrow night. We will see. Don't want to write this one off, but Penn looks pretty good.
All right, let's move on and Wayne's picks.
I like St. Joe over Washington. Now, Washington had a surprise win to me over Andrean, and St. Joe surprised me by beating Hobart. So, St. Joe has a tradition now. I really think they're very good.
I like Washington in this game, actually.
No, this is the red check mark.
Ooh.
No, because we're not on next week. I'm just telling you, tomorrow night, if you're wondering who Joe would have picked, I would have liked Washington.
All right.
I think St. Joe overachieved by beating Hobart. So I like Washington. Marion showed last week in a dominant first half against Wheeler that they're a very good football team.
And the thing for Hammond High here is if they can win tomorrow night, that would be their first time to win 11 games since 1988. But you're right, that's a buzzsaw. That's a very, very good Marion team.
Hammond, another team that had a great football season
Right.
in Northwest Indiana. Just the one loss, and they've had an outstanding year and something to build on, I think, for their football program. They definitely had a great season for them. I think we got one more we're going to look at for the
Sectional 2A, or
Yeah.
Class 2A.
Bremen,
Right.
good football team.
And Lewis Castle's a good football team. This is going to be a good game.
Pioneer, outstanding. How can North Justin compete with them
Wow.
all?
Wow.
Pioneer won that game in the regular season 56
Yeah.
to nothing. That is a dominant effort there from
Hopefully-
Pioneer.
It'll be closer.
Hopefully my Jays were playing possum during the regular season.
That's right. That's right.
Down in
Go
Royal
ahead,
Center,
beat us
Indiana.
up now. I think
I don't
this
know,
will be closer.
but hopefully. We'll see. All right, time for our games of the night. Time to check out some of the games from high school football coming up tomorrow night. Look a little inside them. East Chicago really in tough tomorrow night against a outstanding Lowell team. I think you hit a good topic there, Andy. They need very little wind tomorrow night
Right.
if they're going to compete
Right.
against Lowell. And then it'll be difficult to compete anyway because Lowell's going to be physical and score a lot of points. East Chicago's going to need to throw the football and have the ability to run and throw to compete in that game.
They do. I think I saw them last week, and I thought that they were very impressive against Cabot. Devontae Jones is one heck of a player, but there's just not enough big play people there.
Malik Jackson's one of their guys
Yeah.
who makes big plays, but they're going to need to find some other guys to step up against. And I think the one thing that you got to look at with Lowell is they basically play a lot of guys.
Yes.
So it's not a fluke that they dominate the line of scrimmage in the second half,
Right.
even much more than they do in the first half. Their defense has been something that has not been given enough credit this year. With Josevich with 5 picks. We saw a nice article
Thomas.
about Thomas this week. He's had an outstanding year. They're kind of the no-name defense. In fact, let's see if Coach Kilmer will give us some names of that defense.
It starts up front with their defensive line. You know, they have to do their job. It's not a glory position. Kids like Adam Felder, Josh Knoblich, Gavin Summers, Jordan Martin, you know, they do a good job of keeping guys off our linebackers. Then it starts with our linebackers. You know, we have a solid veteran crew. You follow that up with some pretty good athletes in the backfield. It makes for a great lock-to-gate defense.
The biggest thing that we have this year is our game planning. It's easy to go in a week and give up the fewest points around here when your coaches prepare you during the week. I've never gone into a game feeling like I didn't know what to do. Coaches always have such a great plan, and then we just get to go out there and play football.
When you got a good group like we have, you know, the kids, they're not done playing. They're not done breaking this family up, and that kind of lends itself towards a deep playoff run.
I think playoff experience is a big part of being able to be successful in playoffs. You know, going to the regional game last year really kind of gives us a feel. And, you know, we've already been here before for all this, so it's, you know, it's a second round through. It's more practice. It's extra games at the end of the season to get young guys ready. You know, you're pulling up freshmen, they get to see the big field. And then as a team, you're ready to take it to the next level each and every year and go further and further.
Playoff experience, it's a big aspect of what we do. You know, a lot of us seniors, you know, going on last year, we had a championship run, so it really helps us. We also have a saying that when we come into the program, it's, you know, leave the program better than you found it. And each and every day, us upperclassmen build off of what the seniors in the past did to make the program better and better. And that's what driven us and pushed us to be as successful as we are each and every week.
Wow. I mean, those are two guys that can talk the game
Yes,
right
they
there.
do it.
Yeah.
Nice job.
You know, and you saw in some of those clips they were practicing at night. That's actually at 3:30 in the afternoon.
Yeah, right. We had a time
So,
change. So.
right after school, all of a sudden in the darkness. Speaking of this matchup tomorrow night, you talked about Malik Jackson a little bit earlier as a playmaker for East Chicago. He was a big special teams player last week with a blocked punt, and that's what East Chicago is going to have to do. They're going to have to come up with that big play
right.
to keep this one tight to the end.
Yeah, and Ben Sokolowski is one of those no-name defenders that's had an outstanding year, or for Lowell.
That's right.
A couple guys, some of those guys that haven't got a lot of recognition. All right, let's move to the 2A championship game. Knox, who Wayne has disrespected the last few weeks.
And it continues, and I don't mean
Well,
that.
I can give you some support. Here's some numbers that you need to know. First of all, Whiting in their last 12 games against teams that are currently in the Hoosier North, 3-9. And
Really?
in this postseason, the Hoosier North is 3-1 against the Greater South Shore. That lone win was Lake Station over West Central in a sectional opener by a score of 13-12. So the Hoosier North has dominated. However, the Sagarin numbers are definitely in favor of the Oilers in this game.
Right, they are.
So.
But Knox has fooled me quite a bit
Yes,
this year.
that's right.
Especially in the postseason. So this could be a very, very good game.
Well, and Knox looks like they've been getting better every week, and
Yes.
they've had a new coaching staff, so that could be a trait that they have been getting better every week. Don't get me wrong, Whiting's going to be the big favorite
Oh,
tomorrow night at home. I just think Whiting's got to step on that throat early and not let this be a close game in the second half.
Yeah, they're big time players. Glasgow, the quarterback, Petrov, that wide receiver. They need to step up early in the game, get a little lead, and then let Madden just take time off the clock running the ball.
Because you don't want it to become a mental game where they're
Right.
thinking that things can go wrong in the second half. Let's hear from the head coach of the Oilers and some of those Whiting football players.
We just have to come in this game like it's any other game. I mean, obviously we have to practice like it's a championship game because it is, but Coach always tells us just act like it's any other game.
Trying to treat it like every week that we've had up to this point, and I said we've had a great week up to this point. I said hopefully we get a couple more good days of practice, get ready for these guys. They're playing real good ball right now, so it'll be a good challenge Friday night. Our defense has been playing well. We're hoping our defense continues to play well.
They're a big team. I know they're going to be ready. They got some big running backs who run hard.
We know that we have to bring our A game and our physical game just like we did against Boone Grove.
We've been taking care of the ball. We want to take care of the ball Friday night and eliminate those penalties again.
We know this is what we've been working for all year. We know this is what we want. We know this is what the city wants, and we just know that we have to keep our composure down for the game and come out with a win.
We've always had great fan support here, win, lose, or draw. This has been a great fan base, and I said hopefully this place is packed up Friday night. This is a great place to play. I'd rather be here for 2 hours than on a bus for 2 hours.
We love playing on the turf. We always say defend the turf. We haven't lost on it yet.
We feel like having home field advantage. We have the city here, we have the town here, we have everyone here for us, and it's our time to win.
I think those are some great comments. Obviously, a focused football team that's ready to go tomorrow night, and I think they really need to take maybe Knox out of this game early in the first half.
You know Lowell's going to pack that stadium. We need to get East Chicago to, bring some people out and make this a great game.
Yeah, all right. So Whiting and Knox ready to go tomorrow night. We are wrapping it up here on PFR. We want to thank our crew and all of our viewers, all you folks that have gone to our Facebook page, and we want to thank you and let you know that tomorrow night on 89.1 FM, you can listen to Lakeshore Game Night.
Yeah, we're on from 6 to 10 at least until action concludes on 89.1 FM, and we'll take you to all of these sectional championship games live. We'll have correspondence at every single one of them, so get the latest scoring updates. Don't just listen to one game, listen to all of them.
Yes.
That's right.
On 89.1 beginning at 6, and some of these games are kicking off at 6:30. All right. We want to thank our crew again one last time, and we're going to go out with our weekly rewind for the season. One final video for you right here on PFR. Good night.